Welcome, everyone. We are here to go over March trade log and then Q&A webinar. So let's get started. I'm starting with March. And why am I starting with March? Because the reason we reviewed trade log is because we want to go over what we did right and what we did wrong during that month. Take notes of what we didn't do right, and then fix it. So from March, like March was particularly a tough month for a lot of people because of the trading environment we had. And as you can see right on my screen, like a lot of 100% losses and all that. So based on that, I went back on my own March trade log and I wrote down improvement areas that I personally need to improve on. And this helps me, um, that keeps me accountable for the improvements that I need to make for myself. And I encourage you, all of you, to do this as well. Like go over April, say, write down, identify the areas, like top 3 areas you won't be able to transform your trading or yourself overnight. It never happens. It won't happen. But you can pick 3 areas that you think you'll be easily able to improve on, or 3 areas that has been hurting you the most and keeping your profit in check. Um, Anything, but top 3 areas that you think you need to improve on. For me, March was like too many big size lot of plays without proper risk management. If when I go back here, a lot of plays, and it's like big lot of plays. It's $7 or 50 cents lot of plays, and then another one 100, and then up here quite a few of them as well, like 600, 430, 400. All this lot of plays at the end took away a lot of profit that that I would have been able to keep. And so that was one of my biggest thing, and I thought that that's very easy for me to improve on. And then the second was where over trading when market was slowing or moving sideways into the consolidation manner, and that's same thing here. On week 3 of March, market was super slow, very low volume, trading sideways, consolidating, and I took some trades, like big trades. And I had one of the worst day I have had in quite some time, where almost every single trade I took failed. And that made me realize that I should have been trading less, not more on that day. So that was second area of improvement. And the third one was underestimating some names that ran after I got out. And if you can see, like this went to 21. I took $700 loss, and it went to $21 the next day. Um, and yes, you need to take this notes as well, so you know. I do this every day, so it's fresh, and I know exactly what went right and what went wrong. So, for example, here using some of the underestimated big time as it went to $9 after I got out. So I got out at 350, and after 5 minutes, it was at $9. Same thing, should have hold on to it because the underestimated the strength. It went after. So those 3 areas I thought would be good for me to improve on. So as we discuss April, I want you to see if I was able to fix that or not. So let's go over April. So April, first week, like week 0, it was only one day, April 1st, pretty much. And almost we closed a lot of our trades from that we took, excuse me, on 31st, and the open trades from previous month. 6 total, only 1 loss, only TTD didn't work. We got out, we stopped out at about 50% loss. So I had stop loss in place for that one, and almost everything else worked perfectly. great start of the week. I mean, it's a great start of the month. And then comes the first week. These two trades were open when the week ended. And when week ended, we had 100% win rate and two open trades. We took 17 total trades for that week, and we only had two losses. And because of the high win rate, and because of my personal account size, I did not put any stop losses on this one, and that was part of the plan. I did underestimate Roku again because I got out at 580 highest and it went to 7 after I sold. Lotto, I did it, but it was again calculated. I should have avoided it, but it worked out because of the market environment. I did put for shop, I did put the note when I took it that small account should avoid it. It was for the next week, so it wasn't technical. It wasn't a lot of play. But the week started out great. April 1st, 100% win rate. By the end of the week, two open trades. Come week two, so there's nothing much to say for me to say here, except a lot of trades that we exited ran big after that, but we did manage to capture like 72, 62, 50, 40, 60, 40, good amount of good amount of profit off of those trades. So even if it went to whatever after, like I'm not too mad about it. Comes week two. In week two, we took a total of 20 trades. At the end of the week two, again, it was the same thing. Everything green except two open trades that didn't work. So that was another great week for all of us. Notes, shop. I didn't follow my stop losses. I had stop losses in place, but I did not follow them. And the reason, as far as I can remember, was because shop was reporting earning next week, and my reasoning for not following my stop losses was that it could climb back up prior to that, going into the earnings, but it didn't. It traded sideways and pretty much ate entire premium. That was a big learning lesson. Should have followed my stop losses. I didn't. 100% loss, $1,200 loss. If you were to just have one contract on this position, this one hurt a lot. And if you have a small account, you should not be making this mistake. For my account, I kept my maximum trade size. So yes, I lost it. I lost it all, but I pretty much lost about 3% of my account in that trade, nothing more than that. And that helped save my account. Otherwise, this would have been much, much, much worse. But yes, bigger trade always, always, always have stop losses. So that's going to be my next month's to do pretty much improve list. That bigger trade should always have stop losses no matter what. That's my takeaway. Made a mistake, we learn from it, and we move on. Lotto play, 80 cents. I learned my lessons, not taking bigger lotto plays here. Didn't follow my stop losses again, need to do better on this, but I did stop out at about 66%. So can't be mad. Usually I set it at about like 50 to 60%. My original stop loss for this one was about 40%, but I managed to get out at 66. So again, great week. We made good improvements, good capture, good profit. No huge wins like you would see here, but still 40 to 50%. And this is how you build your account. Like this all wins like adds up real fast. So first 2 weeks, great. Comes third week, and everything stopped. Third week was the toughest week of April. And one of my lessons that I learned from March was over trading when market is slow or moving sideways. So comes third week, first 4 days, we only took about 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days, 6 trades in 4 days. Because market was so tough, I completely avoided um, I completely avoided trading unless it's like a really great setup like BKNG um, or Google. I completely avoided it. I didn't even touch it. I was like, it's okay. Market is going sideways. I learned my lesson, and I'm going to only take trades that are good. So first 4 days, nothing. We did take trades here on the Monday, Google and Twilio. Both didn't work out. Same mistake again, stop losses. Um, as I mentioned earlier, I think before this, before uh, in the intro, it's human nature and human emotions. Hope, greed, fear, all these are human emotions. And as long as you're a human, you are subject to fall to it like every so often. Me too. Usually I don't make these mistakes, but because we were having such a great 2 weeks prior to that, on very first day of the third week, I was hopeful that it will work. And that was my mistake. I did not follow my own rule, and that was my mistake. And when I look back, I realized that it came. I made those mistakes because of what happened the first 2 weeks. 100% green, great track record. Market was doing great. Did not expect to start going sideways and downturns. So I was hopeful, and that's why I made those mistakes. So now going forward, that's probably going to my second thing that I learned is that pretty much no matter what your track record is for that month or week or whatever, every day is a new day, and pretty much market can go against you anytime, So that's very important. But I did make those mistakes, and I did not set stop losses because of this previous 2 weeks as well. And that was my mistake. I should have done it and could have saved a lot of money on those two. But I did make it. But I learned from my previous month's mistake, and I stopped trading that much. Only one trade on Tuesday, only two trades on Wednesday, only one trade on Thursday, and that's it. Nothing. And I was ready to keep it the same going into Friday, but Friday everything changed. The whole environment changed. The market traded sideways pretty much all day, and I mean all week. Comes Friday, it started trading upward, and I we decided to take full advantage of it. And 6 trades in 4 days, and then 9 trades in one day. And because we saw market change of direction, took full advantage of it. A lot of trades. These are pretty much almost all of them are lotto trades. April 23rd, so same day expiration date. Most of them work. Two losses, minor, stopped out at 11%, stopped out at 54%. Learned my mistake of not having stop losses from March. Another thing was my taking too many big size lotto plays without proper risk management and all that. And boom, like almost all of my entry prices for all these trades, even Amazon, Google, FB, you name it, most of them, none of them were over $2, except Amazon. None of them were like over $2. Small prizes, small lottos, and big gains: 800%, 448%, 228%, 55, 44. 33 huge gains that we made on that day. But yeah, it went excellent. and I did learn from my own mistake, and I corrected it, and I was rewarded for it. And this is what happens when you learn from your own mistake. So that's very important. So you need to keep that in mind as well. But yeah, so week 3 was very, very tough in terms of trading. A lot of variables, a lot of moving parts. Market was trading sideways. Fed's meeting, Biden report came out that week as well, and market tanked on Thursday or Wednesday. Market just completely decided to tank, but we made good on it. We corrected our mistake of over trading. We corrected our mistake of taking higher price auto trades. The only mistake we still made was stop losses. But I recognize why I made that mistake. It was because of the prior 2 weeks. And that's actually, yes, it's based on hope, but it's also based on the track record for prior 2 weeks. So once we identify that market has changed the direction, we stopped trading and we decided to let market do its own thing, figure itself out. And when it did, we put the hammer down and made some good gains. Comes 4th week. So for week 3, 15 total, 5 losses. Not too good, but not too bad either. About 66% win rate. Week 4, again, started great. All green first 2 days. Comes 3rd day, market started doing its own thing that it did in week 3. Again, we just decided to stop trading or taking risky trades, 2 trades, 1 trade, and slow down, protect our profit for the month. Made a mistake with this one shop, had stop losses, moved it a little bit down. I made a lot of profit during the first 2 days, so I risked some of it here, but it was okay. I still had stop losses. I still stopped out of there, and again, follow my own rules or my own learning from March to not overtrade when market is sideways or doing tricky things. Followed it, only 2 and 1 trade on Wednesday and Thursday. Comes Friday, decided to do some lotto plays again. But market was choppy as usual. Some worked, some didn't, but we still made good profit on that. Nothing too major, kind of like evened out. Same thing again, no too big lotto plays. The only Tesla play we took was was for next week expiration date, and even then I decided to step out of it. Lotto plays were all like 3, 4, 1.55, $3, nothing too crazy, as well as like just how we did in March. So overall, we ended month with about 7,800. If you played 1 contract for each one of this trade, you would have ended with 780, 78.85, so 77.35. We took in total 73 trades, 60 wins, 13 losses in a month, 82% win rate, which is our highest ever since we started Option Plus. Super proud of it. And that happened, that 82% win rate happened because we learned from our own mistakes from prior month. We slowed down when market warranted it. We put our hammer down when market was good. Again, we slowed down, put the hammer down. We traded the market and what it was in front of us, and not just trying to predict what will happen. And that was rewarded with a great consistency. 82% consistency is in this market and in stock market is very, very, very good. So overall, great months. If, for example, we were able to do good or improve our stop losses, for me personally, Like for example, this one, if we were to stop out at instead of 1200, let it go to zero. If you were to even stop out at like 400 and like take 800 losses, it would have been 985, almost close to 10,000. Just one trade, and it would have changed the entire game. Um, oh, sorry, that was negative. There you go. So it would have changed the whole thing, and that's what having this stop losses is what matters. Actually, no, I did that wrong. 800. There you go. 82. And if we were to do the same thing with almost everything, this number would have been much higher, but we didn't. And that's going to be my main takeaway going into May. Stop losses, stop losses, stop losses. And no matter what followed before, no matter what track record you had, um, don't let it influence your current day or current week or current month even. But yeah, great trade, a great day. I mean, great month of trading, uh, and it was fantastic. So, do you guys have any question for me at this point? And we will open the floor for question answer. A lot to learn from this, just as we learned from March and improved ourselves. A lot to learn from this month as well. So it will improve even more, a little bit at a time. You just get once you take that one step closer to being profitable, being consistently profitable, and being better trader each and every month. You take that 1 2 steps and you get better and better and better and better. And that's how it works. And that's why I ask every one of you to keep the trade log, because it's not just keeping your profit and losses. um, that's just a byproduct. Main thing is learning from your mistakes. This is purely for um, this column right here is to show the potential of option trading. Same thing, all of this, I only used to have like entry and exit and PNL, and that's it. And then I would go back and learn from, like, I have extensive notes for each one of my losses, and I learned from it and I got better from it. Just like how I showed you right now, how what I learned from March and how I improved that in April. It's not 100% improvement. I still made mistake, but I still made at least, I would say, 50 to 60% improvement in my trading, at least for those mistakes. And I will continue to get better at it. And that's how you get better at it, from not doing the same mistakes that you've made this month, and actively keeping that in back of your mind that, oh, I need to do this. I need to do this. I made this mistake last month. I have to make sure that I don't make same mistake this month as well. And that's my hope for this TradeLog review meetings, that we learn something new, something from our mistakes every month. So I'm going to open the floor for all of you to ask questions if you have any.
It's open for everyone.
Hey Yash, this is Toro here. Thank you very much. This is a great,
I can't clearly
learning.
hear you, Toro.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah, much better.
Okay. So thank you very much for this, and it's a great learning. And while the people like me who's doing it like for past only 2 months, and it's a lot of learning, how do you keep up yourself with the rules that you made yourself, and how do you keep it's something personal, like everybody has their own way of doing it, but if you share your experience, I know sometimes it's tempting to do when the market is going up, but how do you keep up yourself with those rules?
Um, that's an excellent question. And like you said, everybody has their own thing. For me, I have this whiteboard over my desk, and at the end of every month, like what I wrote in the trade log, I write that on that whiteboard. So every time I look at my screen and I look up, it's right there, reminding me of my mistakes. So um, I like every time I sit down in the morning at my I read it, and it reminds me of the mistakes and what I don't need to do and what I need to do. Whatever it is, like I remind my rules and stuff like that. Because I've been trading for such a long time, most of the rules that I tell you guys to follow are already ingrained in my brain. But having it in front of you all the time helps. So now I don't keep rules in front of me. I used to, but now I keep the areas of improvement in front of me all the time. So every time I look up from my screen, it's staring right in my face. That's what I personally do, and that's how I remember or remind myself to not make repeat my mistakes. So it's personal for everyone. Everyone does their own way. I had a trader friend who used to get up and read it out loud every day, the list of rules that he created for himself, and that's how he remembered or reminded himself that okay, I don't need to make these mistakes. I had another friend who was having problem with again like stopping out of the trade. So what he would do is as soon as he put the order, he would just set the hard stop losses. And at first it didn't work because stop losses, as you all know, are variable. But because he was stopping it out automatically, it developed that habit for him. Like, okay, if it goes down 50%, I'm stopping it out. Like he trained his mind that way. So after some time, he didn't need to set the hard stop losses. He was able to just get out of the trade when he wanted to and not be hopeful because he was so used to stopping out. Um, it just ingrained in his brain. So it's different for everyone. For me, having it in front of me all the time works better than reading it loud or anything else.
Thank you, Yash. This is very cool.
Any other questions? And yeah, list like rules are there to guide you, um, and it only works if you follow them, right? So you just have to find a way to make sure that you do. And it could be anything. It could be whatever. It could be whatever that works for you. If there are no other questions, then we are going to go ahead and end this meeting here. Thank you all for joining. It was a great meeting. It was a great month for us, and it may be even better. So I will see you all on Monday, and we'll have another great month.
Yep, looking forward to it. Yash, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Have a good day, everyone, and a great
Bye.
weekend.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.